Hello guys, and welcome to another ProfileTree video. So in today's video we're going to be taking a look at the best web development. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started. So there's several different factors to consider, and of course you're going to have some key points to help you in the comparison process. So with the project requirements, what exactly is your requirements for your site? So understand the specific needs of your project. Consider factors such as your scalability, your performance, the security, your complexity, and integration requirements. Make sure you choose technologies that actually align with these requirements. So if we take a look at our site here, which is ProfileTree, so were we going to create a website with multiple pages, or were we going to create a website with just a landing page? So as you can see, we had to have multiple pages. We had ones to explain our services, one about our portfolio, blog, about us, contact us. We even added a search bar as well, and of course just a little fancy touch there, which is the dark and light mode, which is not necessary, but it's there. It was part of a requirement, well, an optional requirement specification. And if we do have a look at the performance, we want to make sure that it's a website that's performing well. We want to make sure that the actual site loads up straight away if the visitor or user searches up for our website. So that's a couple of things to take into account. And as well as that, you need to choose your security. So with how we've actually got HTTPS. Of course, if you have a website that's just HTTP, that means it's not SSL secured. It doesn't have an SSL certificate. Now, we discussed the different securities in another video, and I would highly recommend to check that out just so you guys have an understanding on the three types of certificates. But anyway, you could see that the performance of this website is great. We've got 70 for performance. Our accessibility is great as well. Of course, we did our best practices on SEO as well. So quite a couple of things to factorize there. And with our mobile version, it's all good as well. So that's just the first step into your actual site. You need to have your project requirements. And next I'm going to be talking about the learning curve. So what exactly did I mean about the learning curve? Now, learning curve is pretty much just associating yourself with the different platforms that are currently available. Now, you're going to be coding the website, or either that, if you don't have any coding experience at all, you're going to end up using the likes of a content management system, or an abbreviation to that, which is CMS. So you've got the likes of Squarespace, and that's a drag and drop editor tool that you can use. Again, you don't have to have any coding experiences for it. It does have some HTML and CSS integration if you want to do some coding on it. And you've got the likes of Wix as well, which is a great platform. It offers a range of different templates. You can do some e-commerce based websites, you can do some non-e-commerce based websites, and as well as that, it's also a drag and drop editor. Then you've got the likes of a pure based e-commerce website or website builder, which is Shopify, and that again is great. It's a competitor to the other two that I've mentioned as well. And if you do have some experience in coding, then you may want to consider using the tools that Microsoft created, which is Visual Code, or their other one, which is Visual Studio Code. So both great platforms as well. So it's just best to take these different tools for a test drive. Basically, just see which one would suit your website better, or your specifications better. Of course, we talked about the project requirements. Want to make sure that it's holding a lot of storage, depending if you're going to be adding a lot of video work or imaging into your actual site, then you need to think about the pricing plan. What exactly are you paying each month, or how much are you willing to be paying each month for your site or to keep the domain open? And of course, how much time will you be investing? How much resources and training will you have to actually do in order to get a coded website up and running? So quite a couple of options to choose from there. So that's why you have that learning curve area. It's best to just do it at the very start before you even consider or settling down on either a CMS or content management system based website builder, or if you're going to be pure hard coding on the actual site. So I'm going to go ahead and do a comparison between a hard-coded website compared to a CMS website. So here we have Conley Cove. So this is one of our internal brands. So this was actually hard-coded in. So if we go into the inspect tool, we could see that this is how it's pretty much been built. You could see the amount of code that's been used. So we could check out the HTML. And this is the style sheet as well, from what we can see. So what Conley Cove actually uses is a CMS tool called WordPress as well, but the background for this is hard-coded on Visual Code. So it's still using Visual Code while it's using WordPress as well, and of course a couple of different plugins has been used in terms of security for updates and things like that. So that's what you would use WordPress for. So this is actually our next site in comparison. So this is Web Design Belfast. So this was actually created using the Editor X on Wix. So still nice and modern. It's sleek looking as well. So you've got your animations coming through as soon as you scroll down through the website. So this one's a multiple page type website as well, as you guys could see. So everything works fine. We've got the videos integrated as well. So difference to this is this website was actually built as a drag and drop editor instead of coding everything in. So everything's more or less in there. But you can see that in comparison with this, of course, this is a little bit more refined compared to our Web Design Belfast one, and we also have a couple of more responsiveness to this website. So if this was actually dragged down and minimized, it would suit the actual screen size. Compared to this site here, it can be a little bit temperamental. That's just because it was made on Editor X. Now, if you were using just the normal version of Wix, you should have the responsiveness already built in. But just to compare with a pre-built website, or the pre-built website, which is this one, you don't really need to worry about the SSL certificate, as Wix will already have one in. Now that will occur for the same of the that will occur for the other website builders as well. It'll always have the SSL certificate, just as long as everything has been verified, but it should be the lowest band of verification that's put onto the actual site. Of course, compare that with this Conley Cove one. More or less the same for the certificate, but you would have to do that yourself. Now, if we go ahead and test the performance for this site, we'll just do a comparison test on it. So I'll go ahead and use Lighthouse and analyze the page load. So I'll go ahead and skip forward till that is now completed. So with this one, of course, our performance is around 56 now. It is saying that the Chrome extensions can negatively impact the page load's performance, but overall we've got a good accessibility on this one. SEO is okay, but that's not really important. We're just looking at the peak performance of the actual site. So everything looks all good in that case. So if we try to compare the Web Design Belfast, hopefully the performance shouldn't be any different as compared with the WordPress or the hard-coded one. So we'll go ahead and check the lighthouse again, analyze the page load, and I'll go ahead and skip forward till that is completed. So you can see the comparison on the performance is more or less the same. Of course, we don't really need to know about the accessibility and best practices, but you could see that using a CMS-based website builder and visual code, that there isn't much difference on performance. Now, it can be greatly affected, especially on what code you use now that you have control over, unlike the actual website builder where it's just a drag and drop. So that's just the performance comparison, as you guys can see. But other things that you will have to consider are the drastic decrease in performance by using plugins. So that could be another factor to that as well. And depending on the storage of the actual site as well, that could be another factor to it. And I would say that the Conley Cove one would be a better build, just more for the fact that you can control what security plugin you want to install for the site. Unlike for this one, it does have one built in, but it's not as branched out in choices compared to Conley Cove itself. So another thing to consider with the best web development is the longevity and future of the actual builder that you'll be using. So just assess the technology that's being used for it. It's basically trialing it out. So what I've stated earlier on, and as well as that, see what sort of updates they do. Do they do a weekly update? Is it a monthly update? What support do they have? What is it compatible with? And just think ahead for the future, especially if you're going to be building more sites on that particular application or website builder. And lastly, always think about the costs. So consider the cost implications of using a specific website builder, or of course the application. Think about the licensing fees, think about the hosting costs, and maybe any additional resources required for the development or maintenance of that site. But there you have it, guys. That's pretty much it. If you guys enjoyed the video, please do leave us a comment in the comment section below. But other than that, I'll see you guys for the next video. Thank you very much for watching.